Next we have 5 labial consonants. Labial, as it sounds, are made with the lips. The tongue is not used. And so the first sound is pa, pa. And the next sound is an aspirated, pa. Hindi speakers and some other, maybe Telugu speakers, will say fa for this sound. But in Sanskrit properly we say pa. It's an aspirated pa sound. Then we have ba, and the aspirated bha sound, as in the Sanskrit word bhakti, meaning devotion. And then there is one other labial sound, which is ma, ma. That's just as in English. So then we have 4 semi-vowels. These are ya, ra, la, and va. And so ya is just as in English. Ra is rolled a little bit more than in English, especially if it comes before another consonant. These are all semi-vowels because they're used with a vowel and their sound is softer. You can look up what semi-vowel means. So when this ra sound comes before a consonant in particular, you get more of a rolled sound than in English. Sharkara, meaning sugar. And so the la sound is very much like English, and va is a little bit softer. It's somewhere between an English W and an English V sound. And it's never as hard as V in English, but sometimes it sounds more like a V when it's said in Sanskrit. In the word swami, meaning a master or a monk or a teacher, swami, it sounds a little softer. And in Shiva, the name of God, it sounds a little harder, but still it's softer than English. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. Somewhere in between a W and a V. Then we have one aspirate, ha, just like in English. So then we have 3 sibilants. The sound is made by pushing air. No place necessarily that it's going through. You can make these in different ways. And so in this suite we have the first sound is sha. This is different than English. This is actually cerebral. You touch the tongue up to the palate, the front of the hard palate, and you say sha. It's hard to notice this sound. The next one is as in English, sha. Some modern Indian languages don't make this differentiation too clearly. Telugu speakers may need to learn the sound sha, sha. This cerebral sha. It's a little bit harder, heavier sounding than sha, shiva, shiva, sha. Or the word dosha, meaning a fault or a stain. This is the cerebral sha, 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 sha. A little different. And then we have sa, as in English, sa. So then we have 3 conjunction letters. The first is ksha. It's a conjunction of ka and sha, the cerebral sha. Ksha. Then we have a conjunction also of the ja and the nya. And this is nya. This is pronounced a little bit differently. Jnana, 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 meaning knowledge. Or yakya, 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 meaning sacrifice or a fire ceremony. Then we have one additional sound, which is tra. It's a conjunction of the ta and ra letter, tra. So this is 52 letters, but we'll describe one more, which is also used in classical Sanskrit. You see this a lot in the older Sanskrit of the Rig Veda. And this is a cerebral la sound. It's like la, but you put your tongue back to the front of the hard palate and you say la, la, la. One other point we should know for chanting Sanskrit is we should note if there's double consonants, if you get two of the same consonant, or even one consonant with the same aspirated consonant after, then it's pronounced a little bit differently. We get a pause. A good example here would be in the word Buddha, which is the name of the planet Mercury. Buddha, Buddha. This is different than in the name Buddha, Buddha, the name of the founder of the Buddhist faith. Buddha. So listen to the difference. First it's Buddha, and second Buddha, Buddha. You get a little bit of a pause, really. They say you get the first hint of that sound. Bud, 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 Buddha, Buddha. It's really, it's said a lot like a pause. Other words that have that are siddha, siddha, meaning an attainment, or adna, adna, meaning rice or food. So having gone through the sounds, I want to practice just a couple of popular Sanskrit words that we may know in English that are often mispronounced. The first is yoga, meaning union, yoga. We need to make sure to elongate that first long vowel, that O, yoga. The next would be chakra, meaning a disc, chakra, chakra, chakra. I was giving a lecture one time and some Western people raised their hand and they said, Swamiji, it's supposed to be chakra. It's supposed to be chakra. I said, there's too many syllables there, you're elongating the letter wrong. You're saying sha, it's a cha. Chakra. 2 syllables. Chakra. 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 I didn't say any of that. I said, oh, is it so? Purpose of my lecture was not to teach the Sanskrit, so I just said, oh, is that so? But people say these words wrong, so we should learn to say them properly. The next one would be dharma. Dharma, meaning duty. This is an aspirated da sound. Dha, dharma. Next would be karma, karma. A lot of people, they say karma. Like a car, you're driving, karma. But really, it's not the long sound, it's karma. So next would be Shiva, a name of God that we've talked about before. Shiva. And next, dosha. Dosha. Dosha means a fault or a stain. And this has that long O sound and the cerebral sha sound, dosha. And we've got to be careful to, as we make that D, take the tip of the tongue to the tip of the top teeth, dosha. Next would be korna. This is a cerebral na and a long O, korna. Korna. Where we have, kona means an angle. Next we have the word danda, which is a staff or a stick, walking stick you may hold. The monks all hold a danda. So the first da is dental, the second da and the na there are cerebral. Dun, da, da, dunda, dunda. See if you can hear the difference. Dunda, dunda. And then the last word we'll talk about is the word for a spiritual center or a hermitage, and this is ashrama. We hear Westerners say ashram, and this would not be right. That sound a doesn't even exist in Sanskrit. So instead we say ashrama. And in Hindi they drop the final A, but in Sanskrit we'll say it in all these cases. So we'll say, instead of yog, we'll say yoga. And instead of ashram, we'll say ashrama. Ashrama. So I hope that this video helps you a little bit to learn to practice, learn to properly say the Sanskrit sounds. We will make a video in the near future to help you to practice those sounds. I encourage you to use these sounds as you're speaking. I used to walk around practicing my cerebral ta-ta-ta and my dental ta-ta-ta. And I would listen to Indian people speak, and I would speak these sounds. I would say, I'm going to ta store, store. Saying this in the Sanskrit way, and people would say, I can't quite place your accent, I don't know where you're from. But I can tell you're saying things a little differently than we do. I know you're from some foreign place. And I'd say, ha! I'm practicing my Sanskrit sounds. And I'd be practicing. And sometimes I'd mix it up. Sometimes I'd do a dental ta, da, na. And sometimes I'd do a cerebral. Until I knew I could get my tongue there quickly as I saw the mantras. And from there I learned to chant. And so I'll end chanting just one mantra for Lord Ganapati and Goddess Saraswati, because they're both governing speech and they help in our studies. And so I pray that they bless people who watch this video to learn the Sanskrit sounds properly so they can empower their chanting practices and their other spiritual practices. Om Gananaham Tva Ganapatikum Avamahe Kavin Kavinam Upama Shravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrinvannotibhisi Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Vajinivati Dhinama Vitriyavato Om Vagdevye Namaha Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Harihi Om